Surprisingly resourceful. I just assume they're not feeding it enough tokens. The most interesting thing to me about agents is their ability to error correct and learn. How people have it watch YouTube videos at night or go out onto the internet and try and learn about the tasks they've been instructed to perform during the day. So these agents are going out and error correcting and improving their skills. Likewise, the innovation of thinking in AI models is also an application of error correcting, where you take the next token prediction process and turn it into a pseudo-thinking process that can error correct as it goes through each step in the thought process. Getting rid of hallucinations was also an error correction process. So I wonder what's going to be the next application of error correction in AI. One random thought I had, and I'm sure people are working on it, is applying error correction to agents working together, agents working with other agents. Because one of the important ways that people learn and improve is by working with and talking to other people.
I'm not sure the analogy applies that well because AI is jagged intelligence, as they say, where it's incredibly smart at some things and incredibly dumb at others. And it's structured very differently than humans in that when you're using Claude, you're using the same AI model, even if you have 10 instances of it running. So 10 of them talking to each other doesn't really improve its thinking in the same way that 10 humans talking to each other do, because those humans are trained on 10 different data sets. Humans are just inherently very creative and think out of bounds. Whereas the AI agents are trained on the same data distribution. They're literally running the same model. It's like 10 people with the same brain, the same data set talking to each other. Sure, just through thermodynamics, they might have some different ideas and come up with something slightly different, but they're generally going to think the same. So all you're doing when your 10 agents are talking to each other is you're just throwing 10 times as many tokens at the problem. It's like saying take 10 times as long if you need to. Now, there are different models like Codex and Gemini and Grok Code, which are trained slightly differently. Not that different, but they're slightly different. And so they might have some different insights. Claude has really good visual presentation to the system called Artifacts. And Claude is very good at talking to me at the level that I'm at. So it's very tuned to figure out from your question and your conversation what you're capable of understanding and what level you're asking the question at. It's very good at meeting you at that level. ChatGPT is still the OG. It's sort of very good all around. Gemini is very good at search because it has the Google crawl underneath. It's a frustrating product. It's constantly timing out on the app and losing the connection and forgetting the plot, but it's very fast and it's got a great search index. So if the question I'm asking is really a search question underneath, then I use Gemini. Gemini also has access to YouTube. So if you think your answer is lying in a YouTube video, and there's a lot of YouTube videos, and Gemini has the data advantage of YouTube. So Gemini is really getting by in data advantages. It doesn't feel like the best model to me, but it has the best underlying data. And then Grok is the one I can count on to tell me the truth. It's like the least neutered, least nerfed. It's got access to X, so it's very good at news. And it's very good at technical problems. So if you're asking a deep, difficult problem in the scientific mathematical domain, then I think Grok is actually quite good. Not the others aren't, but I just think Grok is stand out there. And that reflects the biases of the companies that created them and trained them and are driving them. Currently, all 4 of the leading frontier models have a place. I do use them against each other. So for example, I wired up with my GitHub so that every time I'm submitting a new piece of code, say that's written by Claude, then Codex and Gemini automatically fire in every pull request. It's misnamed, but it's when you actually push code into your main repository. And you're basically saying this is ready for review and this is ready to get merged into the main code base. So you've been working locally on a piece of code, let's say with Claude, and then you push it into the main repository. So you file a pull request. Well, you can set it up so that other agents like Gemini and Codex and Grok automatically fire and review the pull requests. And then they say, oh, well, you should change this thing about the architecture and so on. That's a way of getting them to sort of communicate with each other, to have a council, a roundtable of AIs. But I haven't found that to be as useful as you might think. There's still a lot of groupthink with these AIs. If you're coding with them and you push towards an answer, for example, if you think you know what the answer is, it is rare that they will contradict you. You'll have to be pretty wrong for them to contradict you. They're trying to please you. And I don't think they have any long-lived theory of mind of their own. So they're always kind of morphing towards you, and they're going to find the answer that you're looking for. So if you think the answer is in a certain area and you push the models even slightly, all of them will find roughly the same answer because you're leading them to the answer.